The three values that are most important to my personal narrative and I think are most prevalent in the Jewish narrative are identity, learning, and effort.
انقلاب. ما در ایران زندگی خیلی خوبی داشتیم، بیزینس خوبی داشتیم، همه رو میشناختیم، آشنا بودیم به ایران، در اونجا زایده شده بودیم. انقلاب که شد همه چیز ما رو به هم ریخت، هرچی داشتیم از ما گرفتن، ما اومدیم آمریکا. مثلا همین که انقلاب شد من از همه چی دیگه ناامید شدم، اومدم آمریکا، چون از اول جوونیم از از 12 سالگی در ایران کار میکردم، فعالیت میکردم. دیگه وقتی که انقلاب شد همه چیز رو از دست دادم، دیگه ناامید شدم. همه چیز مدرن و امروزیه، ولی ما اونجا عادت نداشتیم. اونجا ما همونطوری که بچه بودیم بزرگ شدیم، به اونجا عادت داشتیم.
When my grandparents had to move with their families, they felt like they had lost their identities. My grandpa, who just spoke, felt like he lost his identity when he moved into a modern setting like Renana and Los Angeles. Although not interviewed, my dad moved to Germany with his parents, a country with not many Persians at the time. They were not familiar with the country, its people, or its language, so they also felt like they lost their identity, something so crucial to the narrative. The value of identity has been in the Jewish narrative time and time again. After hundreds of years of being expelled from all corners of the world and struggling with assimilation, maintaining the Jewish identity has always been a challenge for the Jewish people. Hanukkah, my favorite holiday, is an example of a holiday we celebrate that is centered around maintaining identity and the traditions that define it.
Yeah, Judaism has always been part of my life, but more specifically learning about Judaism. Although I keep kosher and Shabbat, my family and I do not keep every rule and tradition there is, but we still stress the importance about learning them and acknowledging their existence. And I think that's what really has kept Judaism alive in this modern age. Like, for example, not everyone keeps kosher anymore, but a majority know the rules. Yeah.
Because Donna is my cousin and we have been raised in the same type of home environment and family, I believe that what she said applies to my own personal narrative as well. We have both been going to Jewish day school since preschool and learning about the Jewish tradition. Learning about Judaism has played such a central role in my life and has made me realize that in the future, I want to provide my children with some sort of Jewish education, whether that be Jewish day school, Sunday school, or my own teaching. Learning is a repeated value in the Jewish narrative as well. During the Passover Seder, there is Magid, which is the reading of the Haggadah. We read the story of the Exodus from Egypt not only to remind us of what happened, but also to teach those who do not know. Although kids get restless at this part, my grandpa always tells us that being knowledgeable of the story is the most important part.
by 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 following the Jewish laws. Not all of them. I know that I cannot follow all of them, but at least the ones that I can. Keeping kosher, celebrating Shabbat, celebrating the holidays.
Okay.
Judaism has been part of my life, but I feel that it becomes more and more each day. Maybe 20 years ago it wasn't in that extent, but now it is. It came to an extent that I'm comfortable what I'm doing. I don't pressure myself to. I don't pressure myself to the extent that I cannot perform.
The value of effort has always been very important in my personal narrative and the Jewish narrative. Because my family had to move around so much, it was often difficult to follow every Jewish rule and tradition. My family and I will not allow ourselves to completely stress out over religion, as it is something that should provide inner peace, not distress. When I get older, like my mom, this value will continue on in my narrative. I will practice Judaism in a manner that I am comfortable with and know that as long as I am putting in an effort and doing as much as I can, it is okay. Religion will not be the center of my life, so I do not want to stress out if I forget how to do a certain ritual or don't know a certain prayer. This idea is prevalent in the Jewish narrative as well. In The Gates of the Forest by Elie Wiesel, we learn that it doesn't matter if you can't do everything, but as long as you do as much as you can. It is the effort that counts. The man in the gates of the forest could not do the full prayer and procedure, but he put in the effort to at least know what he was supposed to do, and that was all that mattered.